Hello and welcome to another Tuesday Thoughts video. My name is Karen. My website is karentinny.co.uk. Go there and find out a little bit more about me. Or if you want to book a session with me, you can go there and my email's on there as well. Any questions, by all means, get in touch. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I rarely go on Twitter. So try me on Facebook or Instagram or send me an email. But my website again is karentinny.co.uk. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just a matter of kind of getting the word out so that this energy, which is coming through the screen now, because I've opened up my energy, there's a lot of presence here, and that is coming through. So I'm very much a conveyor of the messages from the higher that are coming through. I do live in London at the minute, so there's a lot of noise around, there's traffic, there's some building works going on as always, so bear with me. But as with any meditation or any understanding of how you can slip into that space despite the noise around you, use it to deepen. Use the noise to bring you even deeper into the moment. So the energy that was appearing is very much, it does feel quite Native American. So I've got the plaits on today, and that tends to point to perhaps where this might go. It's a heavy, big, deep, strong energy. And it's pointing to grounding, and it's pointing to being on the planet, and it's pointing to when you want to evolve or want to grow or want to develop into your enlightenment, into your higher spaces, you must be able to bring them down and present them to this world, which is the earthly world that we live in. There is point in being in the spiritual realms and shifting more and more into that. But there's also a point in remaining grounded and in drawing that into the earth, into the 3D, and letting it fizzle out so that it can reach people. It's fine going off and having your experiences, but the work is to help your fellow man evolve and move forward, and by teaching. So often anecdotes or stories or fables or myths are used to take this information and to deliver it in a way that people can be receptive to it, accept it, and digest it, ingest it in a sense. So there is very much a big, heavy bodily presence and a big energy, earth energy. So we are in the solstice, it's the 21st of June. Period of shifting, period of moving from more light to more dark. Some is a slippery slope down to winter, isn't it? And that word that we won't mention. But also on the different sides of the hemisphere, it's different. So northern hemisphere, we're moving towards winter. Southern hemisphere, they're moving in towards full summer. So here we are in the midst of our summer, in the midst of good weather, in the midst of sunshine. And we are being reminded of change. We are being reminded of the transient nature of everything. It will not stay forever in this way, but like the Tai Chi, the yin and the yang, it moves around again and it moves around again, and it's this constant flux and flow that occurs. And so we can embody that as well. Quite a beginning already. 4 minutes. So I'm going to do as I usually do, which is read the cards intuitively. I tend to start off with some tarot, kind of like I want to sneeze. I am burning some incense just here, so unless it's that, we'll see. Apologies. So, as I said, I read intuitively. I will look at the images of the cards and I will see what resonates and see what comes up. These are the messages for the solstice 2022 June, and let's see what the energy wants to tell us as we move forward. And you could look at this reading as opposed to just for the week. let's look at this reading as a directive towards the second half of the year. We mark time by years, start of the year, end of the year, yada yada. It's not really essential that we see it that way, but we can just tap into the vein that we're going along. But as we know, with everything, things shift and change. So depending on us, depending on our attitudes, our minds, our thinking, our experiences, our emotions, things are very individual. So take this for whatever it means to you. It may resonate, it may not. Does not matter. A piece of entertainment to lighten your lunch break, let's say. So going to start with the tarot, because I usually do that to start. Just knock out the old energy, and we'll just give it a little bit of a shuffle. I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying your, we could call it summertime, right? I hope you're either holidaying or back from a holiday or going on a holiday. I hope to visit Ireland again in August. So, and if you want to catch up with me then, that would be amazing. It's always nice to do work at home or answer questions or be around and be available. So I'll be doing a week in Letterkenny, Donegal, in August. So get in touch if you want to catch up. So I think I'm just gonna blow my nose, so just bear with me 1 second. Thank you for that. I just needed a couple of moments just to clear the airways. Sometimes that can point to sort of what you're taking in and what you're releasing. I did a breath work workshop yesterday at Yoga Rocks here in North London. Wonderful place where I go and do my yoga and Pilates, and it's quite close to my home, so it's very convenient. Although Tai Chi and Qigong is my first love and is, I would say, an essential piece of development, not criteria, but what is that word? Oh, okay. It's just excellent training. It's just excellent training, and it does so much that you don't even realize you're doing. So it's way more efficient at transforming you, and it has a way of deepening everything and opening you up. Obviously you've got meridians, and you're constantly opening and closing and working with the meridians, so that also has a huge effect on the body and the mind, and in a sense it is quite transformational in a short period of time. So but yes, I did a breathwork workshop yesterday, and it is fascinating. It's fascinating how we ignore our breath, and it is the one thing that we have that is keeping us alive. So you think, oh, I can't live without food, can't live without water. Try holding your breath, see how long you last. And so there are many different ways to breathe and many different things you can accomplish through breath work. Okay. Don't know what that one is yet. I might just take one more. Oh dear, no, that's far too many. Am I being greedy? Should I not take one more? But it is so important to recognize your breathing, how you breathe, where you breathe into. Okay, so I've turned over. We'll use that. Okay, fine. Okay, so yes, the breath is like it's like mana, isn't it? It's food. It's what sustains you. And so there is, you breathe through your nostrils. That's what you want to be doing most of the time, breathing in and out through your nostrils, and learning to understand how you breathe, understand about the quality of breath, understanding about the movement of breath in your body. I do a lot of that kind of awareness in Art Shift, because we have moments of stillness throughout the art exercises, and it is a place where we can just tap in for a moment and see the mechanism and experience the mechanism that we ignore all of the time. Breath is everything. But let's begin with the reading. I think I've rambled enough. Don't know why I was rambling all over the place. Why was I rambling all over the place? Because the incense was irritating. Not irritating, but it was just getting me to clear my sinuses, to clear my nose. And it's pointing to that, there is an energy with me. So it's pointing to that, the olfactory pathway. So the pathway from the nasal up into your brain, up into the olfactory centers, which is where smell is recognized and where molecules are absorbed. So you can have molecules of essential oils, these tiny, tiny little molecules that are absorbed into your brain, into the olfactory sensory system. And smell, you walk in somewhere and a smell can bring you right back to where you were. It has that memory with it, but it also has power. It has medicine. There's psychological effects. I love aromatherapy. I'm an aromatherapist. That is my degree. My Bachelor of Science is aromatherapy. But, you can use it on the body. You can make sure that, the skin absorbs essential oils. It allows the molecules to be absorbed. But there's also your olfactory system, which I love, which is the subtle effect of essential oils. So having essential oils wafting in a room and the power that can bring. And when you walk into a room, or nowadays you walk into a shop and people have their own fragrance in a shop. So they have their signature scent. It's something I will be working on in the future as well. I'm about to create a signature scent myself. So there is something about the power of that smell, but also the effect it can have on your mind as well as your body, but also on your soul. And it can move energy, back to the yin-yang symbol. It can move chi, it can release chi, it can clear chi from different organs. So there's a way of using scent as well to uplift and change your state. Not sure why that's coming through, but that was... And again, so I'm being told that that's your connection to the earth again. That's your connection to plants. That's your connection to flowers. And not necessarily the flowers that you buy, like the bouquets, but actually planting flowers. Flowers are beautiful. It's wonderful to see an abundance of flower and colour. We have a park quite local, and they spend a lot of time creating these amazing beds of flowers with all kinds of shapes and sizes. And I'm all of a sudden just fascinated by them and loving the bursts of colour. And then if you go into the minute depth, the intricacy of each petal and the life force in it and the joy and the color, it's just, and the shapes and the sizes and the energy. So then you can go beyond that into the energy of the plant. And that's what is in your food. That is what is in your herbs. That is what is in your spices. So it's the energy, it's the natural gift that is being given from the plant world, both visually but beyond. And I think I've mentioned before, dandelion coffee. You look at the dandelions flowering everywhere, and you see this, either a weed, many will see, or those of us who are aware of herbs and their value will see medicine. And then that can be changed into something, you can either eat it or you can make coffee with it, etc., etc. So there's a ways of harnessing the power of these beautiful flowers. Interesting. Bit of flower power going on today. So I don't know what that has to do with the reading. Probably nothing. Perhaps I should just do a YouTube chat sometimes. Perhaps that might be something. If it's something you want me to do, just to come on and have a little chat and see what the I was going to say the angels want to be said. want somewhere, perhaps I could even just do like a 2-minute, 5-minute thing, like not a big long thing, because now I'm going on 15 minutes rambling. I haven't even started the cards. So if it's something you want, let me know, leave a comment, get in touch with me, that kind of thing. So, happy, as you can see, I talk with my hands a lot as well. That's been pointed out all my life. Ma, 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 ma. There she goes with her hands. But do let me know, and we can probably do that. Or even just, I might do some group chats with people as well. The best thing to do, though, is subscribe, is like, and hit the bell so that you get notifications of the next one as well. Okay, so let's start with the cards. So we've got the Queen. I haven't used any light either because I'm in a slightly different location. The light is better, so you shouldn't see any shadow. I don't know if you can see wrinkles, but anyway, I am really gassing today, aren't I? I'm just like blah blah blah. Anyway, so we've got the Queen of Water, so the Queen of Cups, and she's upside down. So now the Queen of Cups is typically a water sign like I am, Piscean like I am, emotional like I am. But she's holding on to her emotions right now. She's not sharing her cup. In fact, if you look at the cup, it's pointed the other way now. So here you might have a full cup holding her emotions, holding her water, offering her love. Here she's not really doing that. She's holding back a bit. She's holding onto her cup, so she is holding it. But if a cup is upside down, all the water falls out. It empties. So she's feeling a little bit empty. She's feeling like she has nothing left to give. There is a division in here. The horizon line is horizontal across. And that makes me think of my diaphragm. So this horizontal cutting through here and back to the breath. So using the breath to balance your emotion. Using your breath to calm. When the waters are choppy, use your breath, that middle line, to calm your emotions, to tap into your emotions. Perhaps you feel unconnected to your emotions. Perhaps the emotions are a little bit more destructive. And you can see it's basically halved the card. So again, we have that northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. We have that division, that line, that moving from one to the other, moving from the choppy to the calm. And even here with her dress, you can see the dolphins at the top and the mermaids around the side here. And perhaps there is an element of connecting to the higher aspects of dolphins. So dolphins are beautiful to look at and to see swimming along the water. Of course they are. And it's magical and you can feel it. It's a little bit different. But there's also the higher spiritual nature of dolphin. And it's just come to me now because I have the totems out. And I was thinking of doing totem animals today at some point, perhaps on Facebook. And the dolphin is about mana. It is about breath. Wow, full circle. So the higher aspect of the dolphin is learning to breathe. The dolphin has to surface in the water and use its air hole to breathe. It's a breathing mammal. And so we do go into the depths of our emotions, but we also have to rise to the surface and catch our air, catch our breath, and use breath work to go perhaps deeper, to release emotion. There was a moment yesterday doing the workshop on breath where this overwhelming emotion rose out of me, and I wanted to laugh. I wanted to laugh and giggle. this joy, this high. And so use your breath to clear and release. Laughing is a great release of tension. Often in our Tai Chi classes, someone would start giggling, and then we'd all start giggling, and we'd all be guffawing, laughing, because we were just all releasing this pent-up tension. And it's so much fun, and it's lovely. So laughter is a great thing. But also, it can turn into tears, it can turn into emotions, but to feel it and release it, to allow it to come from you, to allow the cup to empty. That almost grounds yourself. I said this in another video, I think probably my last video, where sometimes the releasing of the emotion, sobbing can be so you're breathing, you're expelling. When you speak, you expel. When you sob, you expel. So there is something in that releasing of emotions that is allowing you, whether it's laughter or sobbing or speaking or expressing or communicating, that's allowing you to empty it from your body. And when you empty it, things calm. You have that place of nothingness. You have that place of stillness. You have that place of pure potential. You have that moment where you want to just, like everything stops for a moment. We've got so much to do. We've got so much on our to-do list. We can't even see the wood for the trees. We've got a list that keeps getting bigger because we keep adding to it. You know, I have books on the side and I want to do this. I want to read about that. I want to listen to that. I want to watch that thing. I have to do this commission work. You know, I have to go to Pilates in the morning. You know, blah, blah, blah. There's just so many things. And it's almost when you get into an emotional state and release that emotion, it just brings you to a place where you've allowed yourself that little bit of stillness. And there you feel the life of who you are. You don't actually have to do any of that. You have an interest in it, you have a desire to look into it, but you don't have to do any of it. What is important is that you're breathing right now. Like the dolphin, take the breath and use the breath. Let the breath do what's necessary. Let the breath remind you you're alive. Interesting. The next card we've had before as well, is the Fool, but it's upside down. So the Fool points to new beginnings in the right way up. So in a sense, I would say this is still new beginnings. It is still the energy of the Fool, the carefree, wanting to go off on a journey. But because it's upside down, there's perhaps a delay. There is a reluctance to step off that cliff. There is a desire and a want to move forward, to follow the sun, to follow the light, to get outside. But there is still this connection to the earth. There's this connection to stability, connection to what you've known before. And that's quite apparent here. His legs are still firmly on the ground. Even though that's higher, that's above. He's still very much placed and rooted into that. There's something called rooting in Tai Chi, where your feet are on the ground, but you're rooted. So it's very difficult to move you. So, in a sense, it's difficult for him to move forwards. And because of, if it was this way, it's almost downward, isn't it? But because it's this way, it looks like it's upward. So perhaps there is a challenge. Perhaps there is a moving upwards. There is a steep climb ahead. And that's the reluctance. I might just see what it says about the Fool upside down, because I'm not. Oh, there we go. The Fool. Okay, so there's a pause there. So a moment to take stock. There is the energy of the Fool, which is leaping off the cliff and joyous and confident, doesn't see any potential dangers ahead. The old way isn't working, so there needs to be some sort of change. So it is still representing that. It is still representing that change. And perhaps after this sort of expulsion of emotion, change occurs. Perhaps in this almost like shifting identity or shifting energy. You're shifting so much with emotional and breath work, so much that you can't be the same, that you actually change your chemistry, change your biology, and change your mind, change your thinking. You have experiences that will change you. So perhaps you were on a journey, and now there is an element of, well, is this the way I want to go? I'm a little bit stuck now because I'm not sure about leaping off this cliff, because I was going this direction. I knew where I was going. I was full of joy, full of energy, saw the target ahead, but now there's just a slight delay or reluctance, or it feels like more of a challenge. And yet we still have the power of the sun, which is strong yang, which is movement, which is action. And we have the butterfly. So he still has his eyes on transformation. We have the flower, which is the love vibration. We have a little satchel-y handkerchief thing here, which is not carrying too many things. And perhaps that's it. Perhaps there's a necessity to leave more of this behind. That what was in the cup and fell out of the cup, perhaps he needs to drop something about his identity, because there's transformation. Either way, he is going in this direction, so there is transformation coming up for him. Next card, I'm not sure what it is till now. Four of Wands. So Four of Wands points to celebration. It can be the card of marriage. And it is a real stable card because we've got the Four. So the Four is pointing to stability, foundations, building something secure, really making something real in this world. So again, it's like the energy that was with us was saying, take all of the knowledge, take all of the exercises, take all of that, and like with the experiences, and as with the mystics who channel these stories and poetry and mythology and anecdotes and things, they bring it down, and so they can make it spread out into the world in that way. So it's taking it from here and assimilating it into our daily lives. And as you do that, success occurs. He can see him here. He is very happy. He is lifting that wreath in celebration. He has won. So perhaps there was reluctance to go on this journey. There was reluctance of where he was going to step forward into. But it's a success. And it could be a new marriage, possibly a new relationship, but a harvest of some kind, a winning. Something has been won, and it's creative. So you've got the wands here, which symbolize creativity. So there's the creative aspect, the fiery aspect, the passionate aspect, stepping forward into that. And using that creative flair, not only in achieving this, not only in building what you want, but in how you express yourself and how you celebrate and how sort of you build for the future. You can grow new things, new ideas, and you have a whole army of people behind you. This is the whole community. So it's working with your community, working for your community, standing in front of them, celebrating your position in front of the townspeople, celebrating and including them. It's about bringing the good news home. It's about being someone that they can look up to, that they can welcome back in, that they can welcome the winner, that we're not tearing people down for their successes anymore. And here is the town and the castle. And so we're on this route. And we're being celebrated. And we are reflecting that back. So for every win you get, you are celebrating those who got you there. You are celebrating those who had interest in you. You are celebrating. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for others. So this is just evidence that it does work when you work with people. It does work when you are there for them. Whatever creative endeavor you're sharing, you have the backing and the support that you need. And that makes it strong. That's what gives it the foundation. That's what you can build on. And then they can build on it. So they learn from your teaching, let's say. They learn from how you express your emotions, how you manage things, the skills that you have. And they can see that too can bring them where they need to be. That too can generate a fertile period in their life with all these garlands heavy with grapes and fruit. It's time to sing, time to celebrate. Is there something in your life that you'd like to celebrate? Is there something in your life that you should feel proud of? Is there something in your life that you can acknowledge in another, that you can validate in another, that you can, all these awards that are around for different things. Allow someone to have their moment to shine. Don't take it from them, because they're a reflection of you. You are in every single other person, and every other person, there's a reflection of them in you. So everyone's win is your win. Your win is everyone else's win. $33. And the last card we have is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is a message. It is a message from the higher realms. You can see it coming from this cloud here. So it's a gift from God, a message from God. It is coming in through the higher aspects of mind. So the swords point to thoughts, mind, communication. So there's a communication coming through. There's a message of higher wisdom coming through. Again, we have the palm, but it's slightly different on both sides. So this is the, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, solstice, splitting in two. The balancing act. This sword which cuts through, the sword of truth, the sword of offering, the gift. In knighthoods, they tap someone on the shoulder with the sword. So in a sense, there is that recognition. There is that knighthood, that it's a special message coming from heaven for you. And it's about listening to it. It's about being open to it. It's about receiving that message. How do you receive a message? You get quiet. How do you receive a message? You meditate. Praying, they say, is like asking and asking and asking, because you're praying. Meditation is receiving, so it's listening, it's hearing. So as you pray, stop, wait, listen. Use your breath to get quiet. Use your breath to sort of let the dust settle, let the sediment fall to the bottom. And in that there will be clarity. You will get a clear message from the heavens. And then that is how you move forward. And just on the back, I thought maybe I would do another deck, but just on the back, quickly, we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant, you can see, is pointing to the heavens. So this is about spiritual information. This is about spiritual knowledge. You can see he's learning there. He's got his head in his books, but his feet are on the ground. And again, as with our friend who joined us, it's about bringing that information down into some form and grounding it into the earth. And people have done this before him, so he's reading and studying. But also he is tuning in, he is sitting, he is waiting. He perhaps is reading a prayer book. So he's sending the energy up, but it's also coming down. You've got two pillars here, light and dark. You've got two keys round his neck. And you have a crown in 3 tiers. So that is mind, body, soul. That is unlocking the keys, unlocking the lock, using the keys of masculine and feminine to unlock the fullness of who you are. We both have we have both masculine and feminine within us. So it's unlocking that and getting the power of that. And it's resting here on his chest, on his upper chest, so in his heart. So this power is held here. There is an incredible power of the heart. And when you start to tap into it, even if it is through meditation or breathing exercises, my goodness, that's overwhelming. But it takes a while to get there. It takes a while to get in. It takes a while to do that and move the layers. And there's lots of different cleansing meditations you can do. And you can work with different masters to help cleanse and clear the heart energy. We all have these energy centers, and it's important to work on them and build them. Perhaps I'll do a workshop on that at some point. I've got workshops that I want to do as well, all about spiritual development, all about learning the basics, and etc., etc. So if you're interested, leave a comment, let me know. But this is just at the back, so I just wanted to see if that resonated. So it certainly is, as you know, I probably should have just channeled our friend and he would have told us all of that. So I am going to just pick one more before we finish, and this is from the John Holland Tarot, and it's the Love Tarot. But you can take it whichever way you wish. And again, as I say, I read intuitively, so we'll see if there is a message that can bring all of this together, and then we'll finish, because I can imagine you have stuff to do rather than listen to me yabber on. It is funny, I can really go when I get going, and I'm actually a really quiet person. But I think when I talk about spiritual development, spirituality, I can be quite enthusiastic. Okay, very good. So the card that jumped out is 9, which is 9 is completion. So 9 is the end of the cycle, and it's a well-deserved reward. Sorry about the light, but it is just the window. There, that's better actually. Should have done that the whole time. So it's a well-deserved reward. So here you are receiving your 4 of Wands. You are accepting. You have to accept rewards as well, and awards. There could be an award coming, but you have to accept it. You know, if somebody nominates you for something, you have to be willing to stand up and accept it. So as with him standing in front of his community, in front of the townsfolk, you know, he's holding it high, and he's holding it for them. It's like a football team that wins. You know, they celebrate in town and they represent their town, and you know, there's this great joy for everyone in the town, even though they didn't play the game. But there's this joy, this combined celebration, and it gives people just that little release and that little moment of happiness and pride in themselves and, you know, in what was achieved. And here we have the well-deserved reward. And you can see he's kind of coming out of the blue. So he's coming out of the waters, coming out of the emotions, and he has built, look at that, for a firm foundation. He has really built that foundation strong, huh? It's like solid gold, and he stands atop of it. And this is a power stance. So if you ever want to do anything and be in a powerful position, like an interview, something like an interview or something you're going into, if you stand, I think they call it the Superman, Superwoman stance. So you stand with your feet apart and you put your hands on your waist and you stand there and you breathe and you take in. It changes your chemistry. Excuse me. It changes your biology. It changes how you feel. It changes the hormones that are in your system. And so he's doing that. He is acknowledging and accepting this power. And this is built on this gold. So gold's a very high frequency of wisdom and knowledge. And it's often used, I use it in art a lot, to imbue that highest aspect. And it is, I've got some gold on today in my earrings. So it is, solid. It is worth something. There is not just a spiritual value to gold. There is monetary value to gold. And here he stands on his platform of gold. And so there might be an accumulation of wealth that is coming. He might have finally got to a place where, all his work is reaping rewards. And he can stand above it and he can be proud. And he can enjoy his moment. He can enjoy being recognized for the work he has done. And accumulating money doesn't go against spirituality. People have the wrong idea about money and spirituality. It's you can have money. You're allowed to have money. Money is merely an energetic frequency vibration. So you are allowed to accumulate it. Obviously, do the best you can with it. But the more you have, the more you get, the more you can do, the more good work you can do, And you don't have to have much to make difference in people's lives. But if you do have money, and plenty of money, you can make a difference. So it's not something that's dirty and horrible and awful. It's something that should be celebrated as long as it's not hoarded. He's not hiding it. He's showing it to the world. And he's in charge of it. And so it's up to him what he wants to do. Very much it feels like a business person that has risen out of the waters, perhaps risen out of an emotional time, risen out of, a period of cloudiness. There's some, I can't tell if it's blue clouds or blue water. So a period of cloudiness, a period of ideas, perhaps some confusion, but he has built and built and built and built and built, and now he is at the pinnacle, he is at the top. So why do we have that? I'm just going to do one more card. I don't usually do these, but I used to always pick Mother Mary card on a Monday, but I stopped doing that for a while. And they're really, really nice cards. So let's get one more card from Mother Mary. Let's bring her energy in. And again, she's showing me flowers and blossoms, so very much about the rose. Rose energy is strong with her. But other flowers, I'm seeing lots of other flowers as well. Oh, okay. So we've got Our Lady of Sacred Union. So this points to coming together. It can point to a union with another. Time to have love in your life. So perhaps there was a period where you felt emotional, you felt your cup was empty, there was no one to offer your cup to. You had a cup, but there was no one to give it to. And that had you just focusing internally, focusing on dealing with your energies, dealing with your emotions, dealing with your breath, your breathing, your life, basically. And so you weren't sure how to move forward, how to step forward. You weren't sure who you would meet. It's all very unknown, and you've been a bit tentative about moving forward in this direction. But there is celebration up ahead. There's marriage. This is the marriage card, remember? And our people, our family will be behind us as we step forward and choose to celebrate in this way. This is a gift from the higher realms. This is coming. There is messages coming. So you might get emails, text messages, phone calls, voicemails from someone who is significant in your life. But it will be someone who is being guided. You know, it's blessed by heaven. And you can see it as a reward. You can see that this man or woman, it's an energy, is there. It's complete. And sometimes you have to get to a place where you have completed your journey by yourself. So this person has completed his journey. He has built enough around him. He has spent time on his business, her business. They have got to the place where they are recognized for the work that they do. And they are standing there alone. But the 9 would point to that's now complete, that's over. So it's time to bring this new person in. So on the back we had the Hierophant with the keys across the heart. And here there's a lot of flowers, there's a lot of blooms, so that's very much what I'm feeling at the moment. But if you see quite closely here, we've got the heart, and we've got 2 little rings joining together here. So it's unlocking the heart so that you can join with another and you can have these wedding rings. So you can come together. But again, it's that hard work. Again, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from love, but not the love we're all used to. It is very different when you step into energy work and you step into energy of the heart and you bring all of your passions up and you imbue them with the frequency of the heart. You don't even have to call it love. You can just call it frequency of the heart, which is a very powerful frequency. It spreads way further than, your natural aura. It spreads way further than brain waves. You can pick up the heart like quite a bit away from your body. And so understanding the heart and opening the heart and imbuing everything with heart. But it does mean learning about it. It does mean doing some practice. It does mean having some heart energy exercises. And that leads to new growth. And it's an offering. So once you have worked on this and understood it and felt it, you can offer to another. And as you offer to another, you join, you combine. The hemispheres come together. The 2 sides work together. They blend, but they are separate. And the blending is the marriage. The blending is the celebration. The blending is the blossoming. And that's sacred union. And that is available to everyone, regardless of what stage in life you were in. Married, unmarried, divorced, single, widowed, widower, whatever, partnered, unpartnered. There is the chance of sacred union now, which is a new identity. So think about that as we move forward for the next half of the year. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Blessings. Take care of yourselves.